Jeff from Pistonfist. Welcome to Nightbreed. How you doing, man?
Yeah, very, very good. Thanks heaps for having me. Yeah, pretty good stuff from all the way over in WA.
That's cool. It, mate. Yeah. So whereabouts are you based?
We're in Brizzy. Just kind of out of Brizzy. I'm half an hour out of Brisbane. And we just hit lockdown. They put it on us yesterday.
Yeah, a few cancelled footy games and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Get that.
Yeah, we got to get used to it now, eh?
It looks like it, man. It's a shame. We've got a show up at the Sunny Coast at a brand new venue called the 11 Dive Bar. Cracking little venue. A good friend of mine owns it, and it's brand new. The worst time to be opening a venue, and I'm really feeling for him. Looks like this might be the third time that we've had a show cancelled there, which it might hurt us a little bit, but that guy, it's his living. So yeah, my heart's going out big time. All them people are losing money at the moment. It's just brutal.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Well, look, let's go back to the start. Yeah, 2018. Is that what you guys got together? How'd you meet and everything?
Okay, so I'm a drummer. I actually have never really been a vocalist or a guitarist, and I was playing in a band called Oath, which one of us might have thought stood for Onwards and Fight, and I'm pretty sure it actually stood for Old and Fat. But it was a lot of fun. It was a little more bluesy and a little bit more rocky. Before that, I was in a very serious metal band. But yeah, the bass player in Oath is a very good guitarist. He wrote a couple of songs that he thought my voice might suit. Said, let's have a crack. And from there, we just started this side project for a bit of fun called Pistonfist. And here we are now. It's kind of taken off. It's a shame since then. Who is a cracking songwriter. He wrote a lot of our first tracks. He's left. So we've got a new guitarist since in Jimmy. Our bass player, Link, myself and Link are both tattooers. We've known each other for quite a long time. We were actually at a tattoo convention one day, and I was saying how we were looking for a bass player, and he nearly got upset with me pretty much. He was like, oh, hello, dickhead. So yeah, in come Link. And we've been through a few drummers, but we've just now, we're nice and solid. We've got a guy named Damien Viggers. He's done a bunch of things, Sarkooth, last 9 days. He's been in some really good bands, and he's a bit more, we all have a very heavy metal background, like death metal and things like that. So Pistonfist is a little bit left of center for most of us, but it's fun. We're a little bit older, so it's a little bit less thinking. It's just, dirty rock and roll, and yeah, we're having a fat time at the moment. It's good.
Nice one. So having a couple of tattoo artists in the band, have you marked the whole band? Like, have you guys given each other tattoos or anything?
Yeah. You know what? I've even tattooed all the past members. And I've tattooed everybody in the band except for Link, the other tattooer, and he hasn't tattooed me. Okay. Which is pretty crazy. And we've actually got the guitarist lined up. Jimmy, he said the other day, righto, my arm, both of yous, whatever yous want to do. So we're actually going to get to collab together on him, which is really cool. So Link's been tattooing for a very long time. He's a bit of a, especially as far as I'm concerned, he's a bit of a legend in the tattoo industry. He's tattooed all over the world. He sat in the tour bus for, back in the Falls Festival days and things like that with, Slayer and Seppel and all these absolute legends. So, I'm a little bit like this when it comes to Link. He's a bit of a legend. So, yeah, it's really cool to play in a band with him. And I'm really pumped to be able to work with him and do a collaboration with him. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I read Pistonfist, you guys call yourself Petrol Rock. So you got a bunch of rap heads, yeah? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we are. We actually got coined that from a review that we got one time. A young guy named Rangy. he said he walked into the venue and we were playing. It was something along the lines of you could smell the petrol and the fumes and rubber in the air. It was just rock and roll and rah rah. And yeah, so he coined that petrol rock thing. But actually, I'm in the middle of working on. I've got a 350 Chev in a C10 in my shed at the moment. And I kind of ran in here. Shit, stand to one, move. So we do. Well, I especially like fast cars and bikes and things like that. And yeah, the other boys do too. It's good fun.
Cool. Who's got the most impressive wheels? Like, who's got the best setup out of you guys?
Me, by far. Poor Link, the other tattoo, he's got a van. I've got a 350 Chevy and a 1600 cc Triumph, which are my toys. I enjoy it. But yeah, the other boys, they're actually. Well, Jimmy just bought a brand new Camry, believe it or not. It's a sports edition, and that thing moves. It's got some. Yeah.
Cool. So your music video for On the Run, you guys are in a car yard playing and stuff. I saw there's some burnouts in there. Is that one of you guys, or is that just some footage?
No. That's we blatantly stole that. We did that video. What's his name? He was an amazing guy. He's done a heap of work with Parkway Drive and stuff like that. He's done some really, really cool stuff. It's going to suck now that I can't remember his name. He's a really good guy. Anyway, if I get back to it, don't be surprised if I jump in and go, blah!
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So what's the writing process? You were saying an earlier band member sort of wrote before. Like, how's it work now with you guys?
So things have changed a little bit. COVID kind of made things a little bit different, gave us a bit of time, and we didn't slow down because of COVID. We kind of, if anything, kicked more into gear. And like I said, we're all not young men. We've been doing this for a long, long time in a lot of other bands. And, writing things and sending an email of a riff to our drummer and him putting drums down and sending it back. And man, how good is this shit? This is amazing. We used to go into rehearsal rooms and fight for hours about one riff, and sometimes with too many ideas in there, it was really, really hard. So yeah, we that's generally what's going on. We're writing riffs and sending them off to the other guys. They're putting bits on top of it or changing it around a little bit, sending it back. I'll put some lyrics on top of what they've done. It's really cool too, because I'm a drummer and I'll get an idea in my head of how the drum should go. But, I have a massive amount of respect as Damo as the drummer. He's a very, very good, very capable drummer. He's got his own studio at home, so he's actually a bit of a engineering nerd, sound nerd as well. He knows his stuff back to front. So, yeah, he sends it back to me and I'm like, holy shit, that's not how it should go. But it sounds really cool. Let's roll with that, It's cool. It's very, very, very interesting and very easy. But at the same time, I still do miss... having all the heads in the room and talking about it and stuff, kind of putting together a song as a whole like that. It's still kind of cool. So there's all sorts of, sometimes a song will come together in 10 minutes and sometimes we'll work on it for 5 months. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, sure. No, that's good.
Yeah.
You were talking before about how some of you are from death metal backgrounds, that sort of thing. What sort of influences are coming into Pistonfist? Like, what made you guys decide to do this sort of different sound?
So I think, the first band that we were in, Oath, that I talked about earlier, that the lead guitarist and vocalist from that band, he's very blues orientated. It's still a rockin' thing, but he's very, Black Label, kind of that heavy rockin'. He's a shredder, so it was all about the shred kind of thing. These insane lead breaks and stuff like that, which is dope. It was really cool. But yeah, I honestly, I suppose we've always all loved it. I was brought up in Australia in the 80s and 90s when the Angels and AC/DC and all these legend Aussie rock bands were all the shit. So I've definitely got that in my blood, and so do the other guys. And yeah, I think the easier and fun thing as well. You know, the last band that I was in, well, the last serious band, we were touring a lot and I was counting every gig, and you know, it was very, very thinky, for a lack of a better word. This is not. This is just fucking upper. It's good.
Yeah, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Obviously not much going on at the moment, but before COVID hit, what's the like, I don't know, metal rock scene in Brisbane like? Like, how you got many shows going on, that kind of stuff?
Wrong. It definitely was before COVID was a thing. So, you know, more than 12 months ago, there were some cracking gigs going on in Brizzy festivals and stuff like that. And the scene's quite tight. You know, there's like, I've been doing this for 30 years, and bands are looking after each other. There's guys that are promoting each other and pushing each other, and you know, there's still bullshit, but I don't know. It just seems, to me, it seems really healthy, and it seems that way every time. We've only been down to Melbourne twice, but every time we've been down there, it seemed real strong as well. Like the crowds in Melbourne were just cracking. We played a show earlier in the year called Killfest. It was in an old jail out in Kilmore in like country Victoria. Really beautiful drive out there, really nice countryside, all that sort of stuff. But this jail was hundreds of years old and shit, and was badass freaky. Big stone walls and shit, and like you could, like, yeah, it was pretty crazy going in. But the crowd, ballistic, absolutely ballistic, singing words to our songs, which just weirded me right out really hard. That was strange, but it was really dope. And we played, you know, with King Parrot and Desecrator, Frankenbach, just these legends that I've played with, you know, years ago in the past, and I'm mates with a lot of them guys. But it was just super cool to be in another state, especially while, you know, COVID and drama and bullshit. It was amazing. We went down there with our good buddies Disgust too, and just had a fat time. We toured a little bit with them guys. We went up to Cairns and Townsville at the start of the year. My kidneys are still recovering from that little incident. That was a cracking show, or cracking couple of shows. So yeah, we've I think Australia generally is pretty strong. I think there's lots of support going on for heavy music. It's really rad. And again, maybe that's because of COVID. You know, there's people kind of, we're not getting overseas bands, so people are actually getting out and supporting their local scene and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's also that thing too, like as soon as someone says you can't do something, when you get to do it, you're super keen, you know?
yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit like that too, because so our lead guitarist runs a venue here in Brisbane called the Mansfield Tavern, and we played there to a sit-down crowd when COVID was kind of right in it, and that just, like, it was a cool show, and we had fun, but it was pretty weird. You know, you're kind of, especially as a front man, I'm constantly going like, let's go, woo, that's the stuff. I was like, yeah. You know, sit down, right on. It was just some weird shit, really weird. So it was good after that. You know, we played a couple of them shows, and then to get out and actually to get a pit, it was really, like, I had a hard time controlling myself. It was nearly emotional, you know. I was like, holy fuck, that's right. This is why. It was really sick.
Going back a bit, I saw you guys played the Sludge on the Seas gig on a boat. How'd that come together? That seems like it would have been a great time.
That was super fun. So that was put together by the guys from Evil Eye, which are like a doomy sludge metal band here in Brisbane. They're really, really cool guys. I used to play in a band with one of their members, with their guitarist. And they just put it together, and they've had some really cool bands on that. Flaming Wreckage, we played with. I think we played with them, or I went and seen them. It was really dope. And good story about that trip. When we were playing down the Brisbane River. We had our backs to the Story Bridge, which is one of them iconic bridges in Brisbane going over the Bridgie River. And while we'd actually played, and another band was playing, but while they were playing, you know, we're watching this band, and all of a sudden fireworks started going off over the bridge in the background of this band that was playing, and there was, you know, the smell of like hooter in the air and all this sort of shit. It was just like one of them moments, like, how fucking cool is this? It was so good. That's it hasn't happened for a little while. We've played 2 of them, and they haven't happened for a little while, but they were awesome. They were really cool. We played actually with another Brizzy band, Massive, which they're amazing. If you get a chance, Massive, so good, so heavy.
Awesome. Yeah. I saw too you guys supported the Poor recently. That would have been that's a good lineup. Yeah, that would have been cool to get to a different audience and that. Yeah.
So in that week, we actually supported Viada's Murder the week before, and then the Poor the week after it. So apparently we're pretty versatile. Man, the Poor, holy shit! Again, you know, from that Aussie background, rock and roll. They were amazing. They were so good. They're not young men. They were pretty pissed. They were doing shots before they played and stuff. And I was just like, wow, have a go at this. Because I take things obviously too seriously. Because after watching that, I was like, and they were amazing. They were pissed. They were bouncing on that stage. They owned the shit out of it. Nobody looked anywhere but forwards at these guys. And yeah, I was so impressed. You know, obviously they've been playing together as a band for 30 years, so they're pretty tight now. But man, fuck, they were good. It was so good. It was so rock and roll. So rock and roll.
Yeah, nice. Your video, Black Rain, pretty heavy subject, very different to everything else you guys have done. How did that? What sort of inspired you guys to do
that? Too many funerals. Pretty much, simple as that. We, I think one year there, it must have been about 2018. I think I went to four funerals of friends of mine, you know, and it's just too many, way too many. And the guy that we'd done the video with, Kai, he does a lot of mental health stuff as well. We were sitting down and we were talking about doing a completely different video, and something happened and I rang him up and I went, oh dude, we've got to do this video for this particular song. I just finished writing the lyrics for it and went, oh wow, this is it. And it was funny because he just came out of a mental health meeting or something like that at a university, and he's gone, oh man, you're exactly right. And away we went. That was, yeah, I probably won't act again if I can help it. That was a bit of, it was kind of fun, I suppose, but yeah, that, you know, it's got a point. And the reaction from that song, I've had so many people message me, say thank you, and I've helped them and stuff like that, or we've helped them as a band. It's been really, really cool. So yeah, and we have, you know, again, our new track, Rise Up. It's kind of reasonably in the similar vein. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more, you know, you don't have to listen to the bullshit, or you don't have to wear the weight, or whatever that is. You know, you can push through and kind of try and be strong, believe in yourself, all that sort of stuff. You know, it's a shitty world out there with shitty people, but if you can't have faith in you, you're in a bit of strife.
Yeah. I'm talking about a new single. You guys got like the live footage and stuff. Who put that together for you?
No, that was our buddy Kyle from 4215 Productions, absolute legend. We dragged that poor sucker down to Victoria to all these other gigs and stuff, and he was really good. He knows his stuff back to the front. We're going to do a couple more videos with Kyle, and he's great because he likes to get tattooed. So win.
Yeah. Oh, good man, cool. So what's the future plans for Pistonfist? You guys writing and anything like that?
Yeah, so we're writing flat out at the moment. We've just been in the studio. We went into the studio when we did Rise Up. We did 4 tracks, and Rise Up just being pretty much the first single for a full-length album that we'll be bringing out towards the end of the year. We go back in again next month. We'll do another 5 tracks, and then hopefully we'll go in again and do another 4 tracks. And we're just building it, and hopefully we can release one each time we go into that studio, and just to keep keep some sort of momentum pushing. Hopefully, you know, we've got a hell of a lot of tour dates at the moment that we're starting to slowly cross off that we can't get to and things like that. So fingers are still crossed that we can get to places and play some shows. We lost we lost Japan. We were meant to be there in July last year. That really sucked, massive ones. And we lost New Zealand. You know, is what it is. No point really having a big old look about it. I will, but there's no point.
I guess one thing is it's the same for everyone, hey? Like, you know, hopefully it'll all move on, you know, eventually.
Yeah. And dude, you know, talking to Ryan from Black Greeno, he's got a studio down in there in Sydney that he can't do a thing with. He's just, you know, he's running backwards financially at a fast rate. So I can't whinge. You know, there's people that are actually losing businesses, and the guys I just talked about with the venues and things like that, they're hurting. They're actually hurting. So, you know, I can't really whinge about not going to Japan for a holiday.
It still sucks, but yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, cool. Yeah. All right. Well, so how soon do you think we'll hear the next single? Then you're talking about bringing out songs. So I think we're pushing for October, so not too long, and then hopefully another one December, and we should be releasing somewhere in between January and March. We're sort of, you know, we haven't locked anything down. It's really hard because we want to tour on the back of a release, but talk's cheap, and you know, but at the same time, if we can't tour, it doesn't mean we can't release. At least we can release something and, you know, give some peeps some stuff to listen to. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'll definitely look forward to hearing what comes next, man. Thanks heaps for your time, Jeff. It was good to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah, no dramas, man. Thanks heaps for having me, mate. And I hope like hell we can get over there and play some shows soon. I've got some really, really good mates over in WA that have been on my hammer and kind of give me a hard time for not getting there. But yeah, we'll push for it, definitely.
I would love to see you, man. That'd be cool. Cheers, man.
Cheers, legend. Thanks heaps, man.
Have a good one.
See you, buddy.
See ya.